This week we're going to be talking about net nannies and how they can defeat VPNs. My name is Steve, this is TQA Weekly, and I was asked by a person I can only presume is a minor on why a VPN wasn't enough to stop a net nanny. So let's talk about VPNs first. So VPNs, at the end of the day, only really protect your connection. How do I know this? Because the claim that changing your IP address hides your location is only factually correct if we're talking about identification of location by IP. As I've previously stated in the past, applications can use the GPS module in your devices to figure out where you are, so it is not true that they can't figure out where you are. Not being able to know who you are is also false. The second you log into a website, that website knows exactly who you are. So being anonymous is not true. And this is even true on Tor. If you go on Tor and log in, your identity is known. So obviously that is a problem. Your location being hidden is not actually true 100% of the time. So these are false claims. Also, VPNs will sit at either the router, computer, or browser level, not close enough to the user to stop people from spying on them. So what ends up happening is that the only thing a VPN is good for is your security of the connection, especially on unknown public Wi-Fi hotspots. And even the secured ones, I would still consider a VPN for this use case scenario. For your security, don't presume that you are anonymous over a VPN. And that is important to understand. So if you're trying to be anonymous, don't buy a VPN for no reason. Understand all the risks before going on and understand that your behavior will determine whether or not you are anonymous on the internet using a VPN, not the use of the VPN itself. So like I said, VPNs sit at the router, operating system, or browser level. How does a net nanny defeat your VPN in these cases? Well, a net nanny sits inside of the operating system as well. It has access to everything in the computer and is therefore able to block access to various websites, or in some cases even track all the websites that you do visit on the internet. So basically what it's doing, it's collecting information for parents or guardians of minors to make sure that they are behaving on the internet. To a lot of the minors that are watching my shows, I want you to understand just how important it is for you to be safe on the internet. There are a lot of creepy people out there, and it's not just men. Anybody of any gender, of any age, can be a creep. So having this is just an extra layer of security. You'll understand this if you ever fall into those kinds of crowds, or you end up having your own kids. You'll end up understanding why these applications exist. Now, why is it that they can record everything? Well, that's because your VPN basically encrypts everything that's outgoing. They still have access to that information while it's in the computer, so they just record it. But if you think removing that net nanny from your computer is enough to stop somebody like me from figuring out where you are, I used to figure out where people were going on the internet even if they deleted the browser history when I was 18 years old and younger. There is a lot of information recorded by your routers, by your computers in the form of logs, in the form of cached files and cookies and all that. If you don't basically format your computer and then clear everything inside of the router and then clear everything on the ISP, you are never getting rid of all the evidence of where you have been going. And that is a fact. VPNs don't make you anonymous, and net nannies are not the only way of figuring out where you have been. So understand what it's for, understand what a VPN is for, and now you probably understand why you can't really defeat a net nanny with a VPN. Now, if you are an adult and you're trying to get a net nanny off of your computer, short of having the password, the only way you can get rid of it is by formatting your devices or restoring them to an earlier date, in which cases I'm pretty sure even that might not work completely. So formatting or resetting devices is usually the only way to get rid of a net nanny if you don't have the password, because of how tightly integrated they are with the operating system, of course, to protect minors. But if you're an adult and you want to get it removed, that would be how you do it. Formatting the device. That is like basically the only solution that you have to that problem. Now, I hope you liked this episode, but if you didn't, you can dislike this episode, share with those that you think can benefit from this, and don't forget to subscribe. And if you have any questions, comments, suggestions for topics, you can email me at ask@tqaweekly.com or go to my website, tqaweekly.com. You can see the show notes on this episode, past others, find other ways of subscribing, and use a contact form to email me directly. And if you want to see me play video games, you can go to my Twitch at twitch.tv/ZX1981, where you can see me play video games and ask me questions right then and there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.